Hey everybody, welcome to another recap of Dancing with the Stars. Last time Audrina was sent home, and this week it is the 200th episode. Have I really wasted that much time? Oh, that's sad. Alright, so all the pros started off the show from all the seasons dancing to the first song ever that was on the show. And I must say, they stepped it up. The producers probably told them, hey, more energy. This is the beginning of the show. It is the 200th episode. You can't be going out there looking like a bunch of jerks. They were phenomenal. I must say that. Congratulations, pros. But then they ruined it with an awful camera shot from the director's booth. It was just like some people just sitting there like... And then Tom and empty-headed Brooke just like, are we on? Okay, so... Over 50 returning stars, but sadly no one from season 6. That was a black eye on the night. They couldn't have gotten one person from season 6 to show up. I'm sure they tried too. But of course, Jake Pavelka was there because God knows he would show up at the opening of a jar. Alright, so they had a cute little idea for tonight. They brought back 2 of the more popular stars, Kristi Yamaguchi and Apolo Ono. They let them have teams and they faced off doing the cha-cha. Alright, so Team Kristi went first, and that was Rick and Cheryl, Bristol and Mark, and Kyle and Lacey. Overall, it was very good. Of course, Bristol was the weak link because the other 2 ladies were pros. And maybe Mark was just too good. No, it was Bristol. Alright, so they ended up with a 24. And Team Apollo was next, and that was Kurt and Anna, Brandy and Maksim, and Jennifer and Derek. Alright, so they right away have an advantage because they have the 2 leaders on their team and Kurt. So you can guess that Kurt was the weak link on that team. But it was an excellent job for them. They ended up with a 27. So now round 2, another interesting idea. Bring back 6 celebrity guest judges, and they will be judging the dances that they did, originally. So the new celebrities have to recreate the old ones. So Kyle and Lacey were up first doing Mel B's Paso Doble, and Kyle's no Max. But then again, not even many dancers are Max. I guess he did pretty good for what he was working with. They ended up with a 35, plus the 24 from the group round. They ended up with a 59. Emmitt Smith was the next guest judge, and Kurt and Anna were recreating his Tango. Now, the original dance wasn't very good to begin with. I don't know why they picked Emmitt Smith. I guess they owed him a favor or something, but Kurt was at least as good. I guess they picked him maybe because he was a football player too. I don't think this was any kind of like random thing like, oh, I picked Mel B out of the hat. So I guess they like tried to match up the people. So they ended up with a 34 plus the 27, 61 for them. Alright, now Kelly Osbourne, and I must say she looked great. Although I kind of prefer her with a little more meat on her bones. I don't know. Her face looked a little bit too thin. I don't know. Is it possible to be too thin or too rich? I think so. Maybe not too rich. Alright, Bristol and Mark doing her Viennese waltz. She looked better smiling this week because she really made an effort to look like she was having a good time. But it still was like a fake smile. It was like just plastered, on her face. I wasn't really feeling it from her. But they ended up with a 33 plus the 24 from the group round, 57, lowest score of the night, unfortunately. Helio Castroneves up next. Rick and Cheryl recreating that iconic Quickstep that he did with Julianne Hough. I don't know. I thought Rick, this was his best dance on the show. He started out really strong. Now I'm being totally nitpicky here. There was kind of like a in the middle of the thing. I don't know whether the band threw them off or they were off or what. But it just seemed like something was missing. But his performance totally made up for it because he was 100% committed to that character. 37 for that dance, plus the 24, unfortunately, from the group round, 61 for them. Now, sexy Gilles Marini showed up next, and Brandy and Max got to do the Foxtrot. She moved like a little cat. Sex A, Sex B, Sex C, all the way down to Sex Z. She really did phenomenal. It was really good. Only 110 though? Come on. So 37 for that dance, 27 from the group round, 64, top score of the night. Oh, Brooke, can you think of any stupider questions? I've never seen anyone so vacant doing the interviewing. It was just like, what are they going to say? No, I don't want to win. That's enough for me. Check, please. All right. Rounding out the show, Drew Lachey showed up, and they were reinventing his tango. Jennifer and Derek, that is. This is a tough one to match because that was a really, really good dance. But she did really great. Although I kind of got the feeling that her neck was hurt. I mean, the dance was pretty much perfection, but it just seemed like she was kind of stiff in the neck. They ended up with a 37. I'm a little surprised that it was only a 37 from the judges. 27 from the group round, a 64, so she's tied with Brandy for the night. Tomorrow night, results show. It's unfortunately an hour and a half. I'm sorry, you just can only take so much of this. Tomorrow night, Taylor Swift, Rod Stewart. Can you pick any two more diametrically opposed acts? Probably. Maybe like Susan Boyle and like P. Diddy or something. I don't know. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, I'm sure. Because I'm sure they'll have more surprises and more video packages for everyone. And Brooke will be there to ask more stupid questions. So till tomorrow night, much love.